Welcome back to the Transfer Show, where we're turning our attention to Chelsea. Chief reporter Carve Solokol has joined myself and Alan on set. Look, Carve, we've got to talk about Moises Caceido and Enzo Fernandez because they've both been linked with Real Madrid in recent weeks. What can you tell us on that?
Well, look, Moises Caceido is not going anywhere. He's been on international duty with Ecuador. He's been asked about this rumoured interest from Real Madrid. And he basically said, look, all I'm focused on is Chelsea and Ecuador. I've got a contract at Chelsea and I want to become a Chelsea legend. He's got, I think, 70 years left on his contract. So he is not going anywhere. The situation with Enzo Fernandez is a little bit more complicated because I think Chelsea will sign another midfielder this summer.
Right.
And I don't think he's regarded as being totally untouchable at Chelsea. And it would be interesting if a club like Real Madrid were to make an offer of more than £100 million. I think if they were to do that, then it is an offer that Chelsea would consider. Although their position is that the player is not for sale and he's a key player for them, I think his head has been turned just a little bit by the prospect of perhaps playing for Real Madrid. And I think him and his new representatives know that Real Madrid are looking to sign a midfielder this summer.
Alan, it's been quite inconsistent, hasn't it, with Chelsea? You know, sometimes we get a great performance out of them and then we get a defeat when we're expecting a win. In terms of that, do you think, you know, why is it not clicking? They've spent hundreds of millions of pounds.
Well, I think, you know, if you speak to many analysts and you have on the shows across all the Chelsea games, they'd all say the same. There is a lack of experience, a lack of leadership seem to be on the pitch. In the dressing room, we've got this changeover of manager who's managing them very differently to maybe an old school manager would have a bit more of a firmer feel, I think, there. Fernandez is an interesting one because he's an outstanding footballer, and when Real Madrid come calling, most players want to go. You know that's a difficult phone call to take if you're a top club in the Premier League. I think that the rumourville that is surrounding it suggests that his agent must be getting excited. Chelsea's model, of course, is also, you know, to sell. You know, they're buying young players with long contracts. There's a reason for that because they're going to carry value going forward. And if they feel they perhaps can replace for a lesser figure, then I think that's a transfer that could very possibly happen.
OK. What about Liam Rossini then? Is his job completely safe at the moment, do you think?
Is any Chelsea head coach's job completely safe? I think the Chelsea hierarchy are in a difficult position because they don't want to come out and give a vote of confidence to a manager who's only been there for 2.5 months. I think if you
I don't think vote of confidence is something that they're good at.
Exactly. But
There's not many managers.
I think if you were to ask them, is Liam Rossini under pressure? What they would say is that he's not under pressure. He came in midway through the season. We're going to back him. Even if we don't get into the Champions League, we will continue to back him. But of course, you know, I know, Alan knows that football is a results business. You can say all the right things, but if results don't go your way, then you're going to lose your job. And a lot of Chelsea supporters on social media in the last couple of days have been pointing out to the fact that quietly, Graham Potter was backed as well. Enzo Maresca was backed as well. Mauricio Pochettino was backed as well. But when results weren't good enough, they all ended up losing their jobs.
There's another situation that I think Liam has to be very careful about, which is going to be out of his control a little bit, and that is the power of the agents in the background. Players who are not playing, they should be playing, etc., putting pressure under the owners that this manager's not good enough. And that happens a lot in the Premier League in the recent years. In particular, they become very powerful figures. And if results are not there, of course, the agents, it's not the players' fault, it's the manager's fault. There will be a lot of pressure building on him. I genuinely feel he's a young guy. He's trying to find his way at a very, very difficult club, as we know. He's got a difficult mandate there for sure.
Is it one of the toughest, do you think, Chelsea to manage?
Yeah, I would say so, and also because of their recent history, where that the chant that we've won everything, what they have, because they've been ultra successful and their changeover of manager has worked for them. And this actually makes me think about Manchester United now, because if you actually think about it, why not keep Michael Carrick there? What is the point? Where are you going to bring in some like guru coach who's going to run it for 3-4 years? Michael might be like that Chelsea model. Just let him run with it. Everyone's happy.